I don't know about you, but I don't like wasting time, and I especially don't like wasting time shopping. I'm going to show 11 tips tonight talking about how we can get through the grocery store fast and efficiently. I've been able to gather up some great resources and be able to go through this together with you tonight. So the very first thing is we got to be able to make shopping stay within your budget and make it fun. So we're going to be going over several things tonight, evaluating the importance of a list in meal planning, learn smart shopping strategies to help you save some money, learn the secrets and techniques that grocery stores use to ensure that you buy things, right? So we are influenced by so many different ways, not just social media, but by things that are in the grocery store. And then evaluate how to spot a real bargain, which is my favorite. So, like I said, we're going to be going over 11 tips to be able to help you spend less money at the grocery store, help you avoid tossing food out, and just really be able to just really enjoy that lifestyle of grocery shopping and actually food in general. So we're going to dive right into it. How to save some money. So make number one, make a list. You have to make a list. Plan out a weekly menu using ads from your local supermarkets in the area. Always stick with that list. I don't know about you, but if I don't make a list, I end up with so many different things in my shopping cart if I am going aisle by aisle. Give me a thumbs up or something if you do that at Costco, right? It's very easily. Organize the list according to the layout of the store. This is really important. You got to know where things are. And obviously, grocery stores like to move things around. But if you know where things are, you can go in and out 10, 15 minutes tops, maybe 20 minutes, right? And just be able to make that efficiently. So, grocery store ads. You want to be able to check those if you're bargain shopping and just be able to make that a plan. I know what stores I go to for different items, so I don't have to shop ads too often for personally. Number two, plan a budget. Know exactly how much you can spend. And if you don't have a budget, you don't know how much money you should be spending in your food category, well, I got a budgeting video for that, talking about how to create a budget to be able to make sure you're not spending too much. So you can clip coupons. This is a great way. There's some great technology out there these days. You don't have to be clipping ads anymore like we did as a kid. There's some apps that are available. I'll be giving some links there to what I recommend. Also, text messages. Sometimes you can sign up for a text message, save $5-10, which is always great. Make sure, hey, store rewards cards. You got to have that. Like I said, you got to have the budget. And if you don't have a budget and you don't know how much you should spend, how much you can spend, you're probably going to overspend. Right? So taking cash. This is a very good tip. Instead of using your debit card or credit card, take cash. This can assure you that you're not going to buy something that you don't need if you don't have the resources to overspend. Right? Number three, compare stores. I mentioned this just a moment ago, but comparing stores is so crucial. If you go to one store versus another store, it might only be $1, right? Dollar, no big deal. Hey, if I know somewhere else is cheaper, I'm there at the store, I'm just going to buy it. But if you do this consistently, this could really increase your budget, your spending, I should say, not your budget. And it can really put a damper to your financial situation if you're not careful with that. So, hey, compare shops, their ads, like the store brand, generic brand versus name brands. Read the ingredients to make sure you're getting good, healthy food. Because I like getting a good bargain, but I also like eating well. And so if your first ingredient in your label is water versus, like tomatoes, for example, that's not going to be a very good solution. So, ensuring that the ingredients are good ingredients, buying organic when you can, that can be a very good solution. And sometimes buying sampler versions of your simpler versions of your favorite foods can really be a cost savings advantage. There's some very good resources there. Number four, know your prices. Okay, so this is something that I learned as a kid. Knowing the price. If I know that the price is too much, maybe I'll buy another thing instead. I'll plan my budget accordingly, my food schedule there. Check the unit prices. Sometimes unit prices are going to be, the smaller quantity might be cheaper than buying a larger quantity, especially if you're going to be throwing it out. Number one there on the top of the list is stock up when you see a good price. Anybody that knows me personally knows that I stock up. I just bought 10 boxes of cereal at Grocery Outlet yesterday. Great cereal, $1 a box. Got to get it. And buy only what you need. This is for perishable items. If you're buying too much and then you got to throw food away, that is not a good way to go about that. So, for example, when chicken goes on sale, like it says, buy some extra to freeze, throw it in the freezer. You can do this also with fruits and vegetables, or some vegetables, depending. Some fruit like bananas, you can do that. It's all about saving money. Knowing when things will go on sale. Like turkeys are going to go on sale after Thanksgiving, Easter, Christmas. Condiments are going to be in June and July. Knowing those things can really save you some money there. Number 5, buy fruits and vegetables when in season. Using canned, frozen, dried foods are usually less expensive, and the nutritional value can stay in there well. Really focus on frozen foods because there's less waste there. If you only take out what you need and then put the rest back in the freezer, you can help eliminate that waste. Farmers markets are a great way to buy, fresh foods in season, and it really helps buying local and in the environment, but also there's no shipping costs for the farmer there and the distributors, so that can also save some money. Next on the list there is growing your own food. It doesn't take a lot of room to grow basil or other small herbs, and it can be very inexpensive to purchase. I'm personally doing a 100 square foot garden for this next season. I'm super excited about that. And number 6, waste not, what not. Think about how exactly you're going to use what you're buying. If you buy a 10-pound bag of potatoes and they're on sale, but you only use 3 pounds, that's not going to save you money. Use leftovers to make new meals. If you have chicken, for example, use that chicken that you cooked on one meal, and then the next night maybe have grilled chicken salad, right? Have some salad with that. Leftovers for a leftover night. This can be a great tool if you have a lot of picky eaters in your family, or you just want to have a variety night. Instead of making 5-6 dishes, maybe you could have, Friday night be leftover night, or Thursday night be leftover night, and just make that a tradition that can be really fun for the whole family. Next is brown bag it, making packed lunches that can take your leftovers into new meals that can help avoid, spending $10, $20 for lunch can really put a big impact in your cost savings and your budget for your overall spending. Before putting perishable foods in your cart, think about how you're going to use this. This is really important because you don't want to be wasting that food. Depending on the food, you can put that in the freezer and really be able to save that. Meal prep and freeze. This is something that I love doing. I'm single, so a lot of times I'm cooking for one. And when I'm cooking for one, you can take that big pot. Like some people are like, oh, it's so hard to cook for one. Well, it kind of is, but you just got to plan accordingly, by using, chicken in a couple different meals, or you take one big pot and put 2, 3, 4, 5 meals in the freezer. You don't get tired of the meal, and then you can take it out when you know you're going to be busy that night. If you have a packed day full of appointments, things like that, you can take it out and really prepare for that. Number 6, Meatless Mondays. Go meatless one day a week, perhaps, maybe on Monday. This can really help you can substitute inexpensive sources of plant protein, such as tofu, beans, eggs, lentils, all great sources of protein and fairly inexpensive. And adapting Meatless Mondays is heart healthy, saves money, and you can really be able to spend that money on higher quality meats. Another idea is doing breakfast food for dinner. That sounds pretty good. I love waffles. I love my eggs. But going meatless one day of the week can be really good for the environment. It's also good on your wallet, and just really is an inexpensive way to just drop your budget spending down. Number 8, look up, down, and all around. So look at the lower shelves, search the end caps. It saves time, it prevents impulse buying, and food companies actually have to pay money to get it eye level. So you want to be able to just focus on everywhere else besides eye level, okay? Number 9, only buy pre-packaged foods when it's vital. You're paying for convenience. Depending on the size of your household, you may find that the smaller size is a perishable foods might help eliminate that waste and that extra cost. And why does prepackaged food stay good for months and months? Well, it's loaded with preservatives. It's usually higher in fat, sugar, and calories. And unless you have a coupon for that item, prepackaged items are usually going to cost more money. And so just wash it, just cut it up yourself. It's going to save a lot there. Number 10, look for manager specials. This is huge. Sometimes you can find a great deal on something that the sell by date is now. So be looking for the discounted meat section. Maybe you have to cook it right now or, tomorrow kind of thing. But look for signs, read the signs carefully, check the sell by date, make sure you're not buying bad food. That's the last thing that you want to do. This can be on meat, bread, and produce, usually heavily discounted because it's going to expire next day or two. And then buying these products, you can save up to 90% off the original price, but you got to use them quick. So make sure you do that with due diligence. Number 11, keep your eyes on the scanner. Okay, I don't know about you, but I've had multiple times where it scans, you thought it was one price, and it's another price. And this isn't just for food. I would check for everything you buy. Long story short, several years back, about 10, 15 years ago, I bought a radio for my dad for his boat, and it ended up being about $50 more than I thought it was because the sign wasn't in the right spot. Long story short, it wasn't a good situation. We ended up paying more for it. So check the prices when they're scanning. Make sure you hand over the coupons. Some retailers, if it doesn't ring up correctly, they might give you a discount. I haven't seen that here in the area, but that is around in the country. Pay attention to details. Hand over those coupons if you have them. Check the receipt before you leave the store. No matter how careful you are, a mistake could have happened. Always ask for a rain check. Rain checks are huge. You can save a lot of money on that. Recycle your grocery bags. I like to use reusable if you can, depending on what your COVID laws are with that. Next are more ways to save. All right, so I love saving money. How about you guys? Give me a thumbs up or something, or type in the chat box, save. I love saving. So discount stores, grocery outlet, things along those lines. I'm not sure what's in your area. Directly from the farmer can be a great savings. Warehouse stores, Costco, Sam's Club. Leave the kids at home maybe. That might be a really good option to be able to not have that stress, that yelling, that screaming, depending on the age of your kids. I think it's important to teach these skills to your children because that's how I learn. And I learned all this. And, shop the perimeter of the store, which is huge. Shopping the outside of the store is going to help you get the better deals and less impulse buying because usually the outside's the good stuff, right? Don't be in a hurry when you're shopping. I like to go in and out, make it quick, but this leads to impulse buys and usually less using less coupons. That's why you go in with that list, right? Like we were talking about. I'm very quick, but I also know what I'm going to buy, and I avoid that. If you're going to grocery stores, researchers have found that on Wednesdays, they may be the best day for grocery shopping. It's going to be just in the middle of the week. There might be potentially more sales. Assistance. I'm always happy to help you guys out. If you're saving nickel and diming, saving 20, 30, 40 bucks a week on your grocery bill, that's fantastic. But if your financial situation is not in the best spot, you are paying in credit card debt, you do not have a plan to get out of debt in the most efficient way possible, your family is not going to be okay if your primary income passes away. I am here to help you guys out any way I can.